Hello and welcome. Tonight, PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar promises to reactivate the dry port amongst other projects in Abia State as he takes his campaign to Umuahia, the state capital. Labour Party supporters come under attack as they throng the Tafawa Balewa Square for the party's presidential campaign rally. LP flag bearer Peter Obi says only his party can return the country to the path of growth. APC presidential candidate Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu takes his campaign to Kebbi State, says he will revive the Arugungu Fishing Festival and drive agro-allied revolution in the state. And death toll in Monday's earthquake in Turkey and Syria hits 25,000 as worsening security situation in southern Turkey disrupts rescue efforts. Political parties are in their last lap of campaigns ahead of the general elections. They have continued to reel out more promises to Nigerians. The People's Democratic Party presidential candidate, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, has promised to reactivate the Abia Dry Port project if he's elected president. He made the promise at the PDP presidential campaign rally in Umuahia, Abia State, where he also gave assurances that his government will promote business activities in the state, especially made in Abia products. At the rally, the PDP says its presidential candidate will release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, within the first 100 days of his administration.
Now, there is something I want to say about the Abia dry port. Many of you may not be aware, but I was one of those as vice president who approved that dry port. So the promoters know that I am, but for me, they will not have gotten the approval to set up that dry port. It will only be my pleasure to make sure that that dry port functions and is operational. So, my fellow brothers and sisters and people of Abia State, I want to appeal to you, take this appeal to those who are not here today, that we PDP will be prepared to give Abia what Abians want. It is not an issue of ethnicity, it is not an issue of religion, but it is an issue of good governance.
The Labour Party presidential candidate has told his supporters that he stands solidly by them no matter what follows, following the news of the round, making the round that they are being intimidated that a vote for him will have consequences for them. While addressing traders at the Alaba International Market in Lagos, Mr. Obi affirmed that Nigeria belongs to all, no matter the tribe or where people reside. Our correspondent, who is covering the Obi Dati campaign, Dele Omoyeni, has this report.
The Labour Party presidential candidate arrives at the Alaba International Market in Lagos to solicit for the support of traders ahead of the presidential election. Security operatives attempt to contain the excited crowd who were on hand to welcome him and his team. Mr. Obi charges his supporters to go out on election day and vote for the Labour Party without fear of any retribution.
Let nobody scare you. If anybody tell you that you are from this place, if you vote this, something will happen. Telling the people to be said, nobody's the owner of Nigeria. We all own this country. If they want it to be, we will be there. Let nobody scare you. Stay where you are and vote.
He also assures them that he will improve the infrastructure in the market.
I'm a trader like you. I'll defend you. All this suffering we are suffering today, traders will be great again. Trading will be a good business again. Lagos, and I decided I have to come and greet the good people of Alaba.
After the rally, he makes his way out of the market, and his supporters insist on escorting him to the express, a journey of about 3 kilometers. From here, Mr. Obi and his team move to the Tafawa Balewa Square to continue his engagement with supporters. Thereafter, the presidential candidate and his running mate will begin engaging various groups in the build-up to the elections later this month. Dele Omoyeni, Channels Television News.
Indeed, after the rally at the Alaba market, the Labour Party presidential campaign trail moved to the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos Island, where he wound down his campaign with a mega rally. At the event, the Labour Party urged its supporters to vote out the party in power and elect Mr. Obi and his running mate, Yusuf Baba Ahmed, so the healing process amongst Nigerians can begin. Prior to the kickoff of the rally, some of the party's supporters came under attack by suspected thugs as they made their way to the venue. Our correspondent Olu Phillips has more.
Perhaps saving the best for the last, with days left to the presidential elections, the Labour Party is ramping up campaigns here in Lagos.
Anything what you do for this life, my brother, not for your head.
Very early in the day, the historic grounds of the Tafawa Balewa Square began to swell with party faithful as supporters began trickling in for the last in the series of campaigns. In and around the convocation ground, witnessed a beehive of activity for those besieging the venue and passers-by. Patiently, those who arrived well ahead waited. But while that happened, stories and reports started filtering in about attacks on party supporters who were heading to the venue. What sounded like rumors soon had visibility as some victims who survived the attacks with various degrees of injuries were brought into the Tafawa Balewa Square where medics were stationed. Undeterred, as it would appear, the crowd started growing in numbers well until the entourage of the presidential candidate of the party, Mr. Peter Obi, arrived.
I have decided to follow Labour, no turning back, no turning back.
With music interlude, hyping, and speeches to brighten the day, Mr. B stepped onto the podium amidst cheers, chants, and waved to the one they have come to see and hear from. Proceedings began in earnest after prayers with various short speeches. The ever-boisterous Aisha Yusuf lived up to her trade.
We will not be defeated, even though they take us down. That will stand.
Next, the calm-spoken vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, Dati Ahmed, had this charge.
Out of the remaining 3, 2 of them have misconfigured themselves. They are not ready to win this election. They are on the ballot box only for elections, but politically speaking, those 2 parties are not in the race.
He has a job to do here, so after the floodgate of speeches, Mr. Obi, under the drowning voices of the crowd, managed to calm proceedings before going straight to business. Speaking to a new Nigeria, he promised to reduce inflation using agricultural development, among other hard-line statements.
We will secure and unite Nigeria. We will ensure that when we start, after some years, no Nigerian will say, I'm from the west, east, north, but we'll be proud to say, it's a Nigeria.
All may just be set for the 25th of February 2023, as the consensus here is that of an undeterred movement seeking a change of guard. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Staying with the presidential campaigns, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is reassuring the people of Kebbi State that he will ensure an agro-allied revolution, including the revival of the Arugungun Fishing Festival as a major source of income for the state. Senator Tinubu made the promise at the APC presidential campaign rally held at the Haliru Abu Stadium in Birin, Kebbi. The APC presidential candidate further promised to boost major investment in the state in order to bring prosperity to all Nigerians. The APC campaign trail later moved to the Eagle Square in the nation's capital.
Amidst singing and dancing, the campaign train of the All Progressives Congress lands in Benue Kebbi, the capital of Kebbi State. They're welcomed by enthusiastic party supporters. Leaders of the party called on the people to cast their votes for Senator Tinubu because of his past investments in advancing democracy in the country.
Muna godiya ga Allah, muna godiya gare ku da wannan kara da an kai da mutuntawa.
We thank Almighty Allah. We also thank you for your patience. Today, our national chairman, Senator Abdullah Adamu, is here with our presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, and the leadership of the party for this campaign.
Typical of the APC presidential candidate, he expresses his excitement over the turnout. He then addresses the gathering, acknowledging Kebbi's exploits in rice production, especially the partnership with Lagos State.
We promise you that we will give you the greatest and the best of economy. Lagos is back to Kebbi. Kebbi is back to Lagos. We equally, I promise you, that the fishery industry in Agungu will be connected, bridged, and bring money and prosperity between Lagos and Kebbi.
From Kebbi, the campaign train moves to the Federal Capital Territory, where party faithful converged on the Eagle Square. Again, he unveils his plans to make Nigeria better.
We are ready to work to serve the country in order to serve you well. We want to serve you and turn the ship around.
The APC presidential candidate remains resolute on improving on the legacies of President Muhammadu Buhari.
In part two, after the break, various political parties intensify campaign rally. LP flag bearer Peter Obi says only his party can return the country to the path of growth. APC presidential candidate Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu takes his campaign to Kebbi State, says he will revive the Arugungun Fishing Festival and drive agro-allied and death toll in Monday's earthquake in Turkey and Syria hits 25,000 as worsening security situation in southern Turkey disrupts rescue efforts. One person has been reported killed and 5 others arrested after a violent clash erupted between supporters of the PDP and APC in Jigawa State. The incident, which occurred yesterday, happened when the PDP governorship candidate Mustafa Sule Lamido held a rally in Megatari local government area. As they arrived close to the APC secretariat, a clash broke out. According to a police statement, the victim, a 37-year-old who hails from Gargari quarters in Mitagari town, was attacked by members of the PDP Santuraki Vanguard. He was rushed to the Gumel General Hospital for treatment, but later died from his injuries. In a related development, the Yobe State Governor Mai Mala Buni today escaped an attack at the APC zonal rally at Gashua, the headquarters of Bade local government area. The APC supporters who converged on Gashua playground in their thousands chanted in Hausa that they did not want Mr. Mai Mala Buni. The pandemonium started when the governor was about to hand over APC flags to candidates, and suddenly thugs started throwing sand and other objects at him. The governor had to be taken away with the help of his security details. Earlier, the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, who spoke in Hausa language, thanked his supporters for standing behind him while representing them at the National Assembly. The unhealthy situation forced the governor and his supporters to quickly end the rally and find their way back to Damaturu, the state capital. In Ebonyi State, the APC has rounded off its governorship campaign rallies with a stop at Uburu in Ohazara, local government area of the state. Governor David Umahi, who attended the campaign rally in company of APC executives and supporters, said the ruling party in the state looks forward to a peaceful electioneering season.
The governorship campaign rallies of the All Progressives Congress at local government levels in Ebonyi State comes to a conclusion with a stop at Uburu in Ohazara local government area. It's another opportunity for the ruling party to make a case for its governorship and other candidates to be voted for by the electorate in the state. Before speeches are made, the governorship candidate Francis Wifuru and others receive royal blessing from the State Traditional Rulers Council, led by its chairman, Eze Charles Buma. And for the governorship candidate, unity and progress is the watchword.
We will continue with all the projects, all those things that our governor did well, and so many that he has done and he did them well. We will continue with those lofty projects, and we will deliver the evidence of democracy to every individual of our great state. And everybody will benefit from us. And we will never be party to division. And we will never allow anybody to divide this state.
Governor David Umahi, who is also the senatorial candidate of Ebonyi South Zone, describes the turnout as a total shutdown.
Everything about APC represents equity, justice, and fairness. From Bola Asiwaju, by the reason of presidency rotating between North and South, he represents equity and justice for the peace and the unity of the country. And so today, in one unity of the entire people of Ebonyi South Senatorial Zone, we are saying that our candidate for the next election on the 11th of March is Wifuru.
As the APC in Ebonyi State concludes its Meet the People's tour, party leaders and supporters appear convinced that their message has been received by the electorate across all 13 local government areas of the state and will be reflected at the polls.
In Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike has dismissed the allegation that he may have sponsored the reported attempted assassination of the Director General of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council in the state, Mr. Abia Sekibo. Governor Wike, who was speaking at the Rivers East Zonal Rally at the state chapter of the PDP in Port Harcourt, said it is known by all that he's not a cultist and cannot sponsor the killing of anyone. He asked the PDP members in Rivers East, where he comes from, to ignore any distraction and continue to mobilize votes for the state-level elections.
After 18 days of intensive local government campaigns, the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State is holding its zonal rallies simultaneously in 3 locations across the 3 senatorial districts. In Rivers East, the party faithful in the senatorial district of Governor Nyesom Wike are here at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt for its rally. Governor Wike seizes the opportunity to refute the allegation by the Director General of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council in the state, Abia, that the governor may have sponsored the assassination attempt on his life.
Let me also use the opportunity to debunk the allegation that some people have made that one Abia said has sponsored assassination or attempted assassination of his life. I want to say categorically clear, all of us from Rivers State will know who is who. We granted approval for the candidate of the party to hold their rally at the Mesmaka Stadium. And I do know if you go there today, no stadium has been bought. And so it is impossible for anybody to say somebody's life was attempted and then the place was burned down. It is not correct.
He, however, calls for aggressive mobilization of votes for the February and March elections.
All I want to appeal to all of us is all of us to continue to remain steadfast and continue to mobilize our people as regards the forthcoming election of February 25th and March 11th. We all are aware where we are heading to by the grace of God.
For his party men, asking for votes is an easy task following the successes of the Wike-led administration.
We are very much happy with you. We have implicit confidence in you, Governor. You are leading us well. And so, we say to you, lead and we shall follow.
We want to let you know that we have all bought into the consolidation agenda of Rivers State. We have all been simplified, and we want to assure you that we will vote en masse for all our candidates. And when it comes to the other one, we will know that you will talk to us and we will understand.
After the zonal rallies, the PDP in Rivers State says it's poised to continue its campaigns to the remaining 5 local government areas.
The candidate of the Action Democratic Congress, ADC, in the March 11th governorship elections in Ogun State, Mr. Olubuyi Otegbeye, is promising to ensure that the prosperity of the state is shared equally. He made this pledge while speaking at his campaign rally in Ijebu-Ode, the headquarters of Ijebu-Ode local government area of the state.
The candidate of the African Democratic Congress in Ogun State, Olubuyi Otegbeye's campaign team touches down in Ijebu-Ode local government area of the state. Ijebu-Ode local government is located in Ogun East Senatorial District. It is the principal town and economic as well as traditional capital of the entire Ijebu land. Alongside his running mate, Olatunde Awonuga, and top party officials and supporters, Otegbeye begins the tour of the local government from adjoining villages before entering the town. And for every stop, youths and traders and artisans come out in their numbers to receive them.
People really love us. They really want to vote for us. They are tired of the present administration, and if I were you, I wouldn't have Even I don't see the reason why people want to vote the present administration, because people are tired of their policy. There's nothing to show for it.
In Ijebu-Ode town, Otegbeye and his entourage visit the two major markets in the area to solicit support from the leadership and traders in the market. At their final destination for the day's rally, Otegbeye promises to turn things around for better if elected into office.
I have driven around Ijebu town and the roads are bad, the infrastructures are bad, the hospitals are not equipped, the women are suffering and the youths are not taken care of. Infrastructure will be improved and quality of life will be improved. Let me tell you again, our mantra is to fix Ogun State. All the rot that this administration has created, we are going to fix it, and we are going to make sure that the prosperity of the state are shared by all.
The ADC governorship candidate is appealing to electorates in the state to vote massively for the party and put an end to poor governance in the state.
As the people of Nasarawa State prepare for the general elections, the Igbo community in Karu local government area of the state have endorsed Governor Abdullahi Sule for a second term. The leaders of the group at the ceremony said they have mobilized their members to support the governor's second term bid and other candidates of the APC, saying the governor has done very well in his first term. Our Nasarawa State correspondent Halima Gayam has this report.
Nasarawa State's proximity to the nation's capital, Abuja, is in Karu local government area. The local government does not only house indigents of the state, but a diverse group who are doing business and others working in the FCT while seeking affordable living here. This diversity makes their participation in who becomes governor of the state and other elective positions in the area very significant. The Igbo community in the area, under the Concerned Igbo Initiative for AA Sule, roll out their drums to announce their stance ahead of the 2023 general elections.
Today, we have come to assure Governor AA Sule of our maximum support. The association found Governor AA Sule to be the most eligible, most credible, most sellable, and serviceable of all the potential gubernatorial candidates.
We Igbos, we go to the front line. We say that we are here doing our business in this state. And our security, nothing. Other things used to happen in so many states. That here we are sleeping, stand and help, go to our business and come back. Because of that, we go a battle like that we Igbos in the local government. We are going to give APC multiple votes. Because coming this 2023, from the president to down, we are going to fund APC.
Karu has the highest number of registered voters in Nasarawa State with over 350,000, and all the political parties have their eyes on securing the area. However, the local authorities in the area are appreciative of this endorsement.
We are proud of you. We are proud of you because you are businessmen. We are proud of you because you have something doing in this local government. We are proud of you because some of you are people who have accommodated some of our teeming youth to secure employment. We are sorry about you are working. So we are proud of you.
The Igbos want other groups in the area to add their voices to their crusade for the APC to reclaim the state. Halima Gayam, Channel Television News.
Leaders of some indigenous communities in Otopo, Ado, and Opoku local government areas of Benue State are promising to reward the PDP for the infrastructural investment made in the last 5 years. The Deputy Governor, Mr. Benson Abunu, and the Senator representing Benue South, Mr. Abba Muro, made the promise at the party's rally in Otopo. The Deputy Governor listed projects like the key township roads in Otopo and the construction of the new palace as hallmark projects of the present administration in the state.
The People's Democratic Party campaign train lands in Otukpo, the traditional headquarters of the Idoma people in Benue State. Idoma land has enjoyed some democratic dividends from the Benue State administration over the last 8 years, from the Benson Abono Crescent connecting Commercial Avenue and the new state-of-the-art Ochidoma Palace.
We've done quite a bit in Zone C. For example, the Shigbodo-Agatu Road, which was never in existence for many years, and people had been suffering there. As soon as we came in, that road was constructed, and today Agatu people are very, very happy for it. The Ochidoma Palace is legendary. It's something that is going to be one of its type in the whole of West Africa. It's something that is about 98% completed and is right here in Otukpo.
From Otukpo, the team moves to Ado and Opoku local government areas of the state. Party leaders urged the people to vote for the PDP across board during the general elections.
The development of the state and the zone is like work in progress, and some of us are completely committed to this project, and we will do the best that we can. People believe in us, and because they believe in us, they can take our words to the bank. And so when we tell them that this is what we are going to do, we're going to do it, because we have done so in the past. And that is why we're asking everybody around here to vote for PDP.
Governor Samuel Otom urges the people to vote for the PDP governorship candidate because he has a complete team to fight for the interest of the people.
By the grace of God, as we vote on the 25th and 11th of March, I want to assure you that we shall retain power because Benue State is PDP and PDP is Benue State. I want to assure you that you must participate in this. Everybody should arm himself or herself with his PVC. This election is different from the other ones that we were doing.
Governor Otom and the PDP campaign team have so far anchored their campaign on the need to vote for the protection of rural communities and defend their ancestral land from any threats.
In the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commenced training for senior-level electoral officers, noting that they must swear to an oath of neutrality before their deployment for electoral duties. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, visited one of the training centers in the nation capital, where he restated the readiness of the commission to ensure that the elections are conducted as scheduled.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, is accompanied by some national commissioners as they visit this training center for electoral officers in Abuja. According to the INEC chairman, the two-day training program is a national exercise for supervising polling unit officers, and this will be followed by that of the presiding officers next week. Activities, the commission says, are indications of its readiness for the forthcoming elections.
This is a further assurance and reassurance to Nigerians of the readiness of the Commission to conduct the election on the 25th of February and the 11th of March. The staff who will be deployed to the field to conduct the elections are being trained, not only in the FCT, but also in all the states nationwide.
Beside this training, INEC maintains that they would sign an oath of neutrality before their deployment to the field.
INEC is not a political party. INEC has no candidates in the election. Our commitment is to the process. We'll make sure that the process is what we said it should be. All of them are going to swear to an oath of neutrality, oath of allegiance to the Federal Republic, and oath of neutrality.
The 2023 general elections will commence on February the 25th with the presidential and national assembly polls, and INEC believes strongly that the remaining 2 weeks to the election is enough time to train officers who will manage the process.
This two-day training is enough. It's more than enough. We are going to bombard them with both theory, both practice. They will see the career, they will work with it. We are going to give them resources enough for them to carry out their functions effectively and efficiently as SPOs.
Thank you. INEC will be deploying a bimodal voter accreditation system, otherwise called BVAS, in a general election for the very first time. The technology, the many say, requires the electoral umpire to give adequate training to his field officers on the election day.
Away from electoral matters now, the Niger state government has joined the list of states which have filed a suit against the federal government on the Naira redesign policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria at the Supreme Court. Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara were the first to approach the Apex Court on the matter, and they were later joined by Kano State. In a statement, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Nasarawa Malam, explained that the case was filed yesterday, February the 10th, with the Niger state government as plaintiff, is seeking for an extension of the time frame given by the CBN for the currency swap and withdrawal from circulation of the old 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira denominations, amongst other reliefs. The government is arguing that the security of the newly redesigned notes has caused untold hardship and suffering on residents, especially those living in rural communities across the state. As part of efforts towards finding a lasting solution to the perennial problem of farmer and herders' crisis in the country, 500 Nigerians, including researchers, government officials, and traditional rulers, amongst others, are to meet in Abuja to develop a blueprint and prefer sustainable solutions to the challenge. Addressing a news conference in the nation's capital, the chairman of the Committee on National Conference on Livestock Reforms and former INEC chairman, Professor Atiku says the conference is aimed at coming up with reforms that will promote social cohesion. It will hold in Abuja on February the 13th and 14th.
On the 19th of January 2023, His Excellency, the Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, constituted this committee with the mandate to organize a national conference on livestock reforms and mitigation of associated conflicts in Nigeria. The primary objective of the conference is to bring together a range of stakeholders for cross-fertilization of ideas with regards to how to reform the livestock sector in this country for significant value addition to the economy of Nigeria, and also how to ensure that such reforms are sustainable and they also promote social cohesion rather than conflicts which have bedeviled the livestock production sector in this country.
To company news now, it appears the economy of Onitsha in community in Anyocha North local government area and Delta State at large is about to get a boost with the sighting of Tingo Foods PLC facility in the area. At the foundation laying ceremony, the Chief Executive Officer of Tingo Foods PLC says the facility is expected to be operational in 18 months' time and will create thousands of jobs as well as boost the agricultural value chain.
Onitsha community comes alive as dignitaries gather for the foundation laying ceremony of Tingo Foods processing facility with top government officials and representatives from the agricultural sector. The residents here are predominantly farmers, which makes the siting of a food processing facility a strategic development. For the Tingo Foods team, the benefits of the project are enormous.
The operative machinery at Tingo will be equipped with the latest technologies in food processing, which will be environmentally sustainable, reducing carbon footprint and ensuring that waste is managed in the most economically responsible manner.
I implore on farmers, our members across the country, to leverage on this positive trend to promote, showcase the rich agricultural practices and services of surrounding communities, local government area, the state and the country at large.
The Delta State government, represented by the Chief Job Creation Officer and the Minister of Agriculture, believe the project aligns with the vision of the state government in promoting and sustaining food security.
It has been observed that you are covering a variety of food products. When you read out the variety, this is actually a multi-purpose agro-industrial.
These are the type of programs that are in line with the agricultural transformation of this administration to diversify the economy and not be dependent on just one commodity.
All we want to do is work with the community, work with the people around here to make sure that this investment that we put in, some $1 billion into this community, really turns something and make the farmer the hero of our story.
Next is the official cutting of the ribbon and foundation laying.
Project in the name of God.
The Tingo Foods PLC project is expected to be completed in 18 months and will perhaps bridge the gap between the farm gate and direct consumers through conversion of crops, reduction of farm waste, as well as improved job creation opportunities.
Ladi Williams has more in the world of business.
Thanks, Melinda. On business news tonight, the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company has debunked allegations attributing the current challenges in distributing the 3 redesigned higher denominations of the Naira notes to a shortage of printing materials at the company. In a statement released today, the NSPM clarified that it has the capacity to continue printing more of the redesigned Naira notes and clarified that the CBN had started that the NSPMC was working on printing all denominations of the redesigned currency to meet the transaction needs of Nigerians. The NSPM mentioned that it has made adequate arrangements to continuously produce the redesigned banknotes in line with the CBN intent for the year 2023. Meanwhile, the central bank has denied allegations that it plans to shut down some banks in any part of the country. And the volume of mobile transactions in Nigeria rose by 55% on a year-on-year basis to 108.1 million, in contrast to 32.6 million transactions registered in January 2022. That's according to latest data released by the Nigeria Interbank Settlement Systems. At the same time, registered mobile users in the country carried out transactions worth 2.37 trillion naira in January this year. According to NIBS, this represents a 125% increase compared to the volume of transactions recorded in the same period last year. The increase comes amidst the scarcity of cash in the country, occasioned by the redesign of the 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes. NIBS, which is owned by the Central Bank of Nigeria and all licensed deposit money banks in the country, is tasked with handling interbank payments in order to remove potential bottlenecks associated with interbank funds transfer and settlement. And the local equities market ended the second trading week of February with a moderate comeback as its benchmark index rose 0.21% after a mixed trading session in the week. At the same time, the market's capitalization increased by 62.59 billion naira, largely due to the gain recorded by Dangote Cement and some other high-value equities, which helped recoup losses recorded in 3 trading sessions. Meanwhile, sectoral activity was mostly negative, as 4 out of the 5 key sectors of the NGX ended in the red. Activity levels also ended negative against the previous week's performance. Triple G led a pack of 24 gainers with a 30.48% increase on its share price, while FTN Cocoa Processors is among 44 losers with more than 15% decline, while the trio of GTCO, Universal Insurance and Transcorp were major contributors to 944.29 million total volumes of shares traded this week. And the meanwhile, activities at the unlisted securities market ended the second week of February in the red as the NASD OTC Exchanges Security Index recorded a 1.2% decline. At the same time, its market capitalization dropped by more than 15 billion naira to close the week at 927.21 billion naira.
Total value of securities traded during the week decreased by 67.94%. Volume of securities traded also decreased by 79.32%, while deals dropped by 15.15%. Meanwhile, NSE led two other decliners, down by more than 9%, while Capital Banco, which was a lone gainer, was also the most traded security traded on the exchange for the week. And that's it on business news. It's back to Melinda with the rest of the news at 10.
Many thanks, Ladi. To the Niger Delta, where the governing board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has initiated moves aimed at offsetting the 1 trillion naira accumulated debts owed contractors. This is as the commission suggested debt discount to contractors in a bid to reduce the debts owed them over the years. The NDDC Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Obuku, stated this during an interactive session with the contractors at the Commission's headquarters in Port Harcourt, the River State capital.
This interactive session by the executive management of the Niger Delta Development Commission is aimed at fashioning out a way to offset accumulated debt owed by the Commission. In attendance at its headquarters in Port Harcourt are NDDC contractors who are owed monies for projects executed across the Niger Delta region in the last couple of years. The managing director of the commission asks for their understanding and seeks their cooperation to defray the debts.
You know, it will be very, very difficult for any MD of NDDC to sit down here and say, tomorrow I'm going to pay all contractors their debt. It's not possible. Because some of them are even existing for over 10 years. So if there are areas where we need to discount, we also look at such opportunities and take advantage of them.
Some of the contractors commend the NDDC for initiating the process and bear their minds on the debt discount suggestion.
I will count a number of contractors that have lost properties to banks because what they took from the bank, because of the delay in payment of NDDC contractors, the money NDDC will pay to the contractor, the bank will just dump down everything. So if they are talking about coming to meet NDDC to try to reduce what they are owing them, I think that will not be fair to contractors.
The suggestion for discounting goes well with me, but perhaps the offer should come from NDDC. But there are some that you cannot discount because they are just too eager.
The NDDC Managing Director gives assurances that the agency will engage further with them with a view of sustaining the partnership for the development of the Niger Delta.
We'll sit down and we'll all look at the categories and we'll all know how to. It's not something that will be sitting down here to impose on you. All of us will agree on the framework. That is why we said we're going to have a debt officer for that. A team that will be in charge to make that negotiation and report back to management.
A committee chaired by the Executive Director of Projects and the Executive Director of Finance and Administration is expected to engage further with the contractors to arrive at mutually beneficial measures to address the debt burden on the Commission.
Welcome to Sports News. Real Madrid FC of Spain lifted the Club World Cup for a record 5th time with a pulsating 5-3 win over Al Hilal in Morocco. Now, Vinicius Jr. and Federico Valverde struck twice each, while Karim Benzema also scored on his return from injury in Madrid's spectacular victory over their Saudi Arabian opponents. Carlo Ancelotti's side, who qualified as Champions League winners last season, had far too much attacking quality for their opponents to handle. Well, Madrid's emphatic triumph at Rabat's Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium secured their second piece of silverware of the season after winning the European Super Cup in the month of August. Brazil's Flamengo finished their FIFA Club World Cup campaign in 3rd place after a in from a corner. Abdelkader weaved his way past defenders to find the back of the net again as Al Ahly took. In the English Premier League, former Chelsea player Emerson Palmieri scored against his former club to earn a point in a 1-0 draw to increase the pressure on the Blues boss Graham Potter. Well, substitute Leandro Trossard scored his first goal for Arsenal, but the Gunners missed the chance to move 8 points clear at the top as Ivan Toney earned a resilient Brentford a deserved point, with the game ending at 1-1. Elsewhere, Crystal Palace and Brighton settled for a draw at Selhurst Park, while Fulham ended their winless run with a victory over newly promoted Nottingham Forest. In other games, Leicester City came from behind to win for the second time in a row as they humbled a dreadful Tottenham Hotspur at the King Power Stadium, while 10-man Wolves came from behind to beat Southampton at St Mary's Stadium. In the last game of the day, Newcastle United and Bournemouth settled for a 1-0 draw. Mexico have appointed Argentinian Diego Coca as head coach on a deal until 2026 following the exit of Gerardo Martino. The 50-year-old Coca takes over after Martino's contract expired after Mexico were eliminated in the FIFA World Cup group stage last year for the first time since 1978 in Argentina. The former Racing club boss is known in Mexican football for winning back-to-back titles with Atlas in 2021 and 2022, and in the club's 70-year title drought. Mexico are aiming to qualify for the CONCACAF Nations League finals in June, while they will also look to reclaim the Gold Cup. And Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has rewarded members of the state's contingent to the 2022 edition of the National Sports Festival during a reception held in their honor in Ibadan. Governor Makinde announced a package of 1 million naira for each gold medalist, 500,000 naira for silver medalists, and 350,000 naira for bronze medalists, as well as 250,000 naira each for non-medalists. Now, the governor explained that the gesture was an appreciation of the honor the athletes brought to the state. And that's a wrap on sports news. I'm Ayotunde Baloguns. Back to you, Melinda.
Many thanks, Ayo. On the international scene, we begin in South Africa, where a popular musician, Kellen Forbes, known as by his stage name, AKA, has been shot dead in Durban, along with a yet-to-be-identified male. AKA, also known as Super Mega, won many accolades and collaborated with many music stars, including Nigeria's Burna Boy, with whom he did his hit song, All Eyes on Me. He had been in the coastal city for a show and was shot as he walked out of a restaurant with another man. The police has opened 2 murder dockets, and a manhunt has been ordered by the police minister to fish out the perpetrators. It appears there's a worsening security situation in southern Turkey as rescue efforts are being disrupted following Monday's earthquake. German rescue workers and the Austrian army paused their search operations, citing clashes between unnamed groups, and there had also been reports of looting. Meanwhile, the death toll from the earthquake has now surpassed 25,000, and hope is fading of finding many more survivors under the rubble, despite cases of miraculous rescues. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said he would use emergency powers to punish anyone breaking the law. State media reported that 48 people had already been arrested for looting. Reports also say the death toll in Syria from the earthquake now stands at more than 3,500. There had been criticism that the international effort to send aid to Syria has not been fast enough. And the main news again. The PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, today promised to reactivate the dry port, amongst other projects in Abia State, as he took his campaign to Umuahia, the state capital. We also informed you that the Labour Party held the grand finale of the presidential campaign at the Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos today, where the flag bearer, Peter Obi, said only his party can return the country to the path of growth, just as some supporters came under attack at the rally. And the APC presidential candidate, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, took his campaign to Kebbi State. He told his supporters that he would revive the Arugungun Fishing Festival and drive agro-allied revolution in the state today.